Oh, you took the damn camera.
Oh, you want it?
No, I get one.
Alrighty. Let me know when to start. We good? We good to go? Alrighty.
Good audio going. Camera 1, camera 2, for some reason camera 3.
Different angles.
Alright guys, good luck.
Alright, thank you. I appreciate it. You ready, my boy? Mm-hmm. Appreciate you coming out. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the City Vibez podcast. This is episode 2 of the City Vibez podcast because we're out here vibing in the city in downtown Phoenix. I am your host, Gabe Catalan, and this podcast is not just about real estate. It's about everyone. Everyone has a success story. Everyone has something that we can learn from anyone. So that's what I try to bring into this podcast. And so today I have a special guest, actually a close friend of mine. A good friend of mine. I would say he's an accountability partner, because every time I go to his house, he's always telling me the next steps for the business and just keeping me accountable and keeping me straight. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my boy Ricardo Barbosa. What's up, my boy?
What's up, man?
So yeah, there's 3 cameras, bro. Okay. So whatever you want to point at, I think this one's pointing at you. That one's pointing at me, and this one's just pointing at all directions. So whatever you want to look at, you can look at.
I have to look at the camera?
Oh no, you can look at me too. Whatever you want to do. Just get some M&M's.
All right. This guy did not bring enough candy. We got one more.
I'll brush it up, bro.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, tell him a little bit about you, bro.
My name is Ricardo. I'm from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Brazil.
I played basketball professionally for a couple of years.
Okay.
And then things happened and I fell into business.
So how I met Ricardo was actually through it was a recovery place I used to work at. I used to work at a recovery place out here in Scottsdale, and he came in with one of his buddies, and his friend was like, him and his friend were like, oh yeah, we're here to do a little recovery session. So what they have there is cold plunge, like a hot tub. These compression units are the ones that were really good. And so that's how I met him. Was he came in, and then so since I was working there, I was checking up on them, and I was like, hey, so your last name is Barbosa, so you're Brazilian. And he goes, how did you know? And so I was like, oh, because Leandro Barbosa, the Brazilian blur, the one that used to play for the Phoenix Suns, if you guys look him up, Leandro Barbosa, I think right now he's coaching for the Golden State Warriors. And so when I brought that up, he's like, oh man, how did you know I was Brazilian? His friend was like, oh yeah, that's his uncle. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so from there on, we kind of just started training together. I was training for football, he was training for basketball. And then from there, what happened from there, my boy?
So at that time, I think I was getting ready to go to Portugal, I believe. I don't remember. I don't remember. Yeah. Anyways, I was playing basketball at that time, and I was going somewhere to play, and I believe it was Portugal or Serbia. It was Serbia. I didn't turn my ACL yet, right?
No, I think that was after you turned your ACL.
It was after.
After the ACL tour?
I don't remember, man. Anyways, where you want me to start?
So he was there, and then from there, I remember just going to college, and then what happened from there. I know you're doing an iPhone business. So how did that start out for you?
So I was playing basketball. I was at the time in Portugal. I tore my ACL twice, and at that time, I recovered with Shankar. I was in Toronto with Shankar. Mm-hmm. And
Shankar's a good friend of ours.
Crypto what? Crypto.
Is it Crypto King?
Yeah, God.
I don't know. He knows a lot about crypto. So.
Anyways, so I was rehabbing at Shankar's place. I was staying with Shankar, and then I was rehabbing at his place in Toronto. And then, I was there for 6 months with Shankar, and Shankar is a business guy, he's a real estate guy, he's a crypto guy. And it was just opening up my mind about how, you're able to, make it in other other stuff other than just basketball, right?
Oh, professionals. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Let me touch on that real quick, cause I was the same way. I was more like, okay, I want to play professional football, cause I thought that was the only way you could make money. So I thought that was the only way you could make money was playing professional football. But I started figuring out, okay, like when I was working valet, which I'm still am on the weekends, I see all these guys coming in, different cars, Lambos, Ferraris, whatever it is, McLarens, and then I'm like, okay, these guys are not professional athletes, they're doing something else. So I started realizing, okay, playing professional sports is not the only way to make money. There's other ways to make money, and so I started realizing that, and I feel like that's what happened with you too.
Yep. And then I was seeing what he was doing with real estate, and it just changed my mind a little bit about, because to me basketball is the only route, right?
Yeah,
because that's how I grew up, right? I grew up watching Leandro, and I mean where we came from to where he was. I'm like, what the hell?
That's the only way. That's the only way.
How the fuck did you get here, right?
Yeah.
So I was just, I gotta do the same thing, and then, but after that, I went to play in Portugal one more time. It was my last season there, and then my dad got sick. He got cancer, and he was here. He was in the hospital, so I didn't even finish the season there. I just flew back, make sure take care of him, and then I already decided I'm done with basketball.
What was that point? You were just like,
well, after the first ACL, everything was good. I had a good recovery. I had good opportunities to play in the summer league, and then I went to play a pickup game. I came back too early, first of all, so it was my fault. And then I toured again.
damn.
So once I toured the second time, I was I don't know how to explain, but it wasn't the same, like the feeling to the desire to become like the best basketball player that I can be. So it was, and then throughout the season in Portugal, I played well, but I just didn't have the same drive.
Yeah.
Right? And then my dad got sick. And then I'm like, fuck all this.
Yeah.
I flew back, and then my dad was in the hospital for 6 months. And that 6 months, I was driving for Lyft. I was driving for Lyft at that time. And
Whose car were you using?
I rented. I didn't get no car.
Oh my god.
I was renting a car to drive for Lyft. And then I used to drive from 4 in the morning to get out the long rides at the time. And then to go to the airport. People used to go to the airport. So I used to work from 4 to all the way to 12, and then I used to go check on my dad in the hospital.
Yeah.
Bring him lunch, and then I go back, work, drive a little bit more, and then at night time before I go home, I'll check him in again. And I did that for 6 months, and then that situation happened, right? And then I had to figure out something else to do.
Yeah.
Right? And so I was put in a situation where either you figure it out or what you gonna do,
Yeah.
So I was watching a lot of Gary Vee at the time, and he was doing all that garage selling stuff. You know what I'm talking about? And then
You ate them all, bro.
and then I decided to buy a phone online
Yeah.
on OfferUp. So I bought a phone, and then for $300, and then I sold it for the same day for $400. And I was like, whoa! I mean, $100 like this, and then I was like, interesting. And then I did that for like a week, and I was very excited, right? I showed my dad, look.
Like you were just flipping phones?
Yeah, I was flipping phones.
Off OfferUp. Like you were just buying them OfferUp, and you were going to the next one?
Yeah, pretty much. Just like that. Making a buck here and there. And then there was one day, my dad was driving me to meet this guy because he was buying one of my phones. And then dumbass took the phone in my hand and started running. And I started running after his ass. Alright? And then he started crossing the street, and the cars just passed by. And I'm like, nah, man, I ain't going that far.
Yeah, you're not risking your life, right?
I don't care.
So it was like a scene from the movie.
Yeah. And I'm like,
They were beeping, cars were beeping at it?
yeah, man, the guys were like, but anyways.
So that was your first, with like,
So
you've had multiple of those, or?
that was the first time, right? So, and then after that, my dad was like, man, I don't think that's the what you're supposed to be doing, this and that. So he wanted me to, stop doing that and figure something else to do. And then I was like, I told my sister, I ain't stopping. I'm not stopping. And then I was like, I'm gonna do this for a full month, and then I'm gonna show my dad how much I made, right? And then I made $2,500 the first month, and I showed my dad. And I was like, man, come on, I can't pay rent with this, right? And then he was like, okay, go ahead, you don't have to stop. And then second month, I had more money to buy more phones, and then I bought more, a bit more, so I made I think $3,500 the second month. And then it was consistent like $5,000 a month until November. And then
Last year?
No.
2 years ago?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Anyways, I met Mexico buyers. Okay. So every phone that I was buying here, this Mexico buyer was coming to meet me and buy all my phones and take it to Mexico.
Damn.
Yeah. So and then it went from like 5,000 to like 10,000 a month, 11,000, and then I started meeting suppliers. And then I started meeting more Mexico buyers, and then I started send it to China, and then like a lot of money was coming in, so I had to make a business, right? Because it's too much, and then and that's how I, pretty much. And then I got now we have the website running. We also sell local. We sell for local. We supply local shops.
Yeah, and so he started off an iPhone business, and so I kind of knew about it. I knew about it when I think it was the last year. I don't remember. It was last year. So he used to live in Chandler all the way, and so I would just go hang out with him. So I cut his hair. That's what I do. I cut his hair, and so. He was actually my first $100 client, so he would he pays me $100 every time I cut his hair, and I appreciate it. So he keeps me income coming in. But every time I would go, he would just have a stack of phones everywhere. There'd be just phones everywhere, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And so every time he just explained a little bit more. And I remember when he first started off, he was like, yeah, he'd be the one that would go to get the phones on the offer up, and then go sell them. He would go meet people and all that. And it's crazy to see where he's at now. And so, explain a little bit, bro. What's your business? Like, what's the company name? What it is? All that.
So, at that time when what you're talking about, I was doing everything. I would go and buy. I'll find. I'll negotiate, and then I'll go and sell it. But now I was able to start hiring people, so I don't have to do as much. It's basically just manage now. So, the first guy that I hired was to buy phones around the city and bring it to me. And then the second person I hired was my dad.
He hired his dad. I
hired my dad to do all my deliveries. He was doing all my deliveries. And then after that, who did I hire? Isaiah. My sister's boyfriend. I hired him to do customer service, but he does a lot more than that. And then after that, I hired my mom to do all my postings.
So you're posting social media posting?
Social media off our Facebook, all the. So she does all the posting and stuff, and then now I just manage everybody, make sure everybody has everything they need to be.
Take over. Yeah. So you basically basically scaled your business to where you have people and you just run in overhead. Anything that goes wrong, you kind of just take care of that.
Pretty much.
Damn. Alrighty. And so, it's Rick's iStock, right?
Rick's iStock is the name of the company.
Yes. Rick's iStock. And so you can find them offer up where else?
You can look us up on Instagram, Facebook. We have a website. If you're located in Arizona, Uber does our deliveries now.
Yeah.
If you order through our website, we also do shipping to all 50 states. So
that's dope. And so when like I said, he was living in Chandler, but I recently went to his house the other day with his apartment, and so it's funny how he made his decision of where he wants to stay. Tell him about it, bro.
So, well, my dad at the time, he decided I was living with it was me, my dad, and my sister. We all lived together. I was sharing room with my dad.
Shout out Elizabeth.
I was sharing room with my dad for the past 3 years, and then he decided he wanted to go back to Brazil and stay with his other son, my little brother, and his wife. And so I looked at my sister, she looked at me, and we were like, I guess we're gonna get our place. And so my sister got her own place, and then I went and got my own place. But the reason why I chose my place was because we were working. Isaiah was working on the website, and he told me that we only had 20 miles radius to deliver the phones for local buyers, and so I needed to find like the best location in town, which is in the middle of the map, which is Tempe, like border with Scottsdale.
Yeah.
And that's why I chose that. I didn't look anywhere else. I saw there was a place right there, right, that it fits, because 20 mile radius can kind of almost fit the whole map. So that was the reason why I decided to
live in Tempe. He didn't even want to go see the place. He kind of just said, "Look, this is the spot I have to be at." So he's like, I would look at him more as he's a businessman, bro. All his decisions he makes is all business, and it's pretty cool, man, just to see where he's at. And it helps me with my business. Every time I come over, he's always telling me, "Yeah, man, you need to do this, you need to do that." Last time I came over, we talked about CPAs, bookkeepers, what he does for his business, and how I can incorporate it to my business. It's important, bro. Super important.
Yeah.
And so what are your plans, bro? What do you plan to do? What's going on? Like, what's the next step for you?
Now we're trying to scale, obviously, and then I also trade. I trade stocks in the morning.
Yeah,
I trade stocks every morning.
Yeah, I used to trade with him. He actually got me into the day trading, and I lost some money, but either way, I was reckless. I was going in with no plans, and so. Definitely learned a lot from trading. We used to day trade, small cap stocks.
Low floats.
So you still do that?
Yeah, same thing. Low floats. We trade low floats, and just trying to scale on that as well. Get better on it. It's up and down, so I need to get consistent because I stopped for a long time because I was too busy
with the phones,
with the phone business. So getting back into that and scaling.
Okay. And what about like basketball? Nothing that's not in your mind anymore?
Man, after I stopped, I haven't touched the ball since. I don't know. It's just that it's not that. Like I don't really think about it because I'm just like my mind is just like I always have things to do, like, so I don't have time to think about like, oh, what if this, what if that, you know what I mean? I'm just so focused on what I'm doing now, so I don't really think about it.
You don't really think about it?
I don't watch games really. I'm just like 24/7 on the business and trading. So
okay. Did you ever like Leandro ever talk to you about that, or like was like, oh man, you're supposed to be the next one. You're supposed to be my next like person, or?
No. Well, my relationship with Leandro we were very close when I was growing up because I lived with him.
You lived with him, yeah. When he was playing with the Suns. When
he was playing with the Suns, and then he got traded to Toronto. Then we moved to Canada. So I was there, and then there was a NBA lockout at the time, and then we all moved back to Brazil, and that was my first year professionally. And so we were close back then, and then but after I started my basketball career, we used to only talk on the phone. We weren't really talking, as much as we used to because we lived together. But I didn't really talk to him about me stopping. He knows now that, and he knows about the business and stuff. And he's happy about it.
Well, a lot of people go the other way. Instead of what you're doing now, you're doing more entrepreneur stuff. And so cool, man. No, I just always thought because he was the one that went from Brazil, and so I didn't know if you got backlash from other people, from everyone, or they were like, man, you were supposed to be the next Leandro.
To be honest, I don't think nobody even knows. I don't talk to nobody, to be honest. The only guys that I talk to is you, Isaiah, and Shankar. I don't be posting stuff either, so I mean, a lot of people from media from Brazil message and ask, where are you playing, da da da, but most people don't know, to be honest. So people don't know.
They don't know.
So, I mean, to be honest, I don't even care what they think, That was my decision, that's my life, so.
For sure.
But, yeah.
Oh, no, all right, man. No, I get it. Yeah. And so, phone business is next. Any other business you're opening up? I know day trading, any of that?
No, for now, I'm just focused on those two for now.
Those two?
Yeah, it take a lot of my time, but once, I don't have to focus so much on those, then maybe I get into something else.
Okay. You never thought about real estate?
Did I? Yes, absolutely. But I think all my capital is invested into my business right now, and so I'm not thinking about it at the moment. But I'm just waiting to the market crash, Then we get in there.
I don't know, man. There might be a correction. I don't know about a few crash, because I know we prepare. We're preparing. We're more prepared now than we were. Whatever the last market crash, or just a little small correction. Who knows? But overall, yeah, man. I think that's it. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Anything, bro?
I don't know what to say, man.
All right, no, for sure. No, thank you guys for tuning in. City Vibes Podcast. We're out here vibing in the city. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate you guys. Stay out.
All right.
Yeah, a little short, simple video.
Yeah.
I don't want it too long, you feel me?
Yeah.
You ate all my candy?
Too much. God damn, next time you need more candy, man.
Bro, I thought you...
I don't eat candy, so once I see it, you know what I'm saying? I'm serious.